Hello and welcome to After Sound Review. This time I will review the true wireless IM from Shanling. Yes, that Shanling that usually release digital audio player, and also they are really actually known for their DAP. And this time they also released their own true wireless, and strangely, it is a really good true wireless for me. This is the Shanling MTW300. I'm just gonna call it the Shanling 300, and it is using a single carbon nanotube dynamic driver, so I'm guessing it is similar to those that is used in the KXSS or the Starfield. I guess one of them is using the carbon nanotube dynamic driver. Okay, just like usual, I will review them from the build, fit, frequency response, sound, and comparison. Right from the build itself, for me, this is such a really good looking true wireless. Take a look at this. It's like it's diamond shaped somehow. It has Shanling name on top of it, and it is made of metal. Definitely, it's really one of the most heavy case that I've ever found in the true wireless world, but it definitely feels like a premium items. And this is how it looks when you open them. It's using magnetic mechanism to close, and this is the IM. The IM itself actually definitely feels plasticky, and it definitely looks good too. And the outer part is shiny, but the inside part is more like matte doff texture to it. And the nozzle itself is actually quite short, but I have no problem using it. And then when it comes to features, I need to say that it packs some really good features. Right from the Bluetooth, it's using already the 5.2 Bluetooth, and then it's IPX7 waterproof. Yes, IPX7. For you who don't know that IPX7, it is rated for the IM that could be immersed in water for 1 meter depth for 30 minutes. So yes, it's not only sweat proof and splash proof, this is definitely also waterproof in 1 meter depth for 30 minutes. And it's also have this battery life up to 35 hours. And when you use them, you need to see that it has no button or whatsoever in its body. So yeah, you operate them through tap. Yes, one tap is to change the volume, one tap in the right it's for volume up, and one tap in the left is for volume down, and double tap, either it is right or left, it is to pause and play song, also and or answer call. And 3 taps is for next song in the right ones, and then 3 taps is previous song for the left piece. The Shanling 300, I could say that the frequency response is simply warm-ish balance, because first of all, I need to tell you that ignore this part. This is because of my coupler didn't really fit the IM, so it just have a little bit of distortion here. So the elevation is mainly on the base area, and after that there's an elevation in the upper mid-range area, and after that this is only a coupler resonance. So it's quite balanced and really well tuned. It doesn't have any strange peaks. It's just really well balanced. I don't hear that it's too thin, too thick, or too bassy, or too sparkling. No, it's just quite really good frequency response, and that's exactly what I hear. And this is how is it compared to the Moondrop area. One of its I know Moondrop area is wired IMs, but it's just a popular one in around its price range. Area is somehow considered Harman-ish, and for me the area, you can see that there's a similarity because the elevation is mainly on the base area, and after that the upper mid-range, and after that there's a noticeable roll-off both in the treble area. While for me the Moondrop area is still better, is still more balanced, especially in the vocal area. And this is how is it compared to the LiQWYD TV. And for me again, there's a similarity here because there's elevation in the base and also upper mid-range, and after that treble roll off, again similar. But LiQWYD TV for my ears is simply sounds more neutral thanks to its less punchy bass and less thick bass compared to the Shanling 300. And also the upper mid-range is more forward, so for me I think it's more looks like the more proper pinna gain around the 3K. But nevertheless, for me they sound both good. It just depend on your preference. The TV is more neutral, while the Shanling MTW300 is more warm-ish balanced. I use my iBasso DX160 to connect with the Shanling MTW300 and I found no problems at all, and it definitely sounds really good. Also, sometimes I connect them using my phone, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Okay, from the sound of this Shanling MTW300 is definitely towards warmth thanks to its punchy bass, and it's quite punchy bass really, with a good quantity and good quality and good depth. Also smooth and somehow meaty mid-range, but still in a balanced way. And also you will find the treble is actually smoothened a bit, so you will not find any harsh peaks in here, but of course it won't be for treble heads. Okay, right from the bass itself, for me this is a really good bass if you like pop songs or EDMs, because it's giving a lot of punch, a good quantity and a good quantity of meatiness, and also really good depth. So yes, it's just a really good punchy bass, but I guess it won't be suited for those who like speedy rock songs. You know, it's not fast enough for double pedal songs. But for me, when I'm talking about true wireless, I always prefer my true wireless to be quite bassy, because I use them when I'm in the commute, when I'm jogging, when I'm running, and more bass will definitely helps giving more, giving this more atmospheric situation for your jogging. It just gives you more adrenaline, I guess. And then the good thing about it is the mid-range is actually also really good. The mid-range is quite warm, it's really smooth, and again it has no sharp peaks or whatsoever, and it's quite clear also, so I have no complaint with the mid-range, and even I quite like it. And then the treble itself, it could be yes or no, depends on your situation. For my ears, it's definitely on the smoother side. It's definitely rolled off a little bit too fast for my preference. So the cymbal crash, also the instruments sounds a little bit blunted at times, but nevertheless it is not dark IM. It's still quite balanced, it's just smooth. And when it comes to technicality, I need to say that it's not really capable, it's not really detailed, it's not really 3D in imaging, but the soundstage is quite rounded, but it's not really big. So for me, the really good thing is about the tonality and also the fitting. So it really, for me, those two combined with this kind of tonality and also the fitting, it really makes it one of the much more really versatile IM. I really like them. And when it comes to comparison, unfortunately, I don't really have any true wireless at this price point right now, but I need to compare them with its brother, the Shanling ME80. Actually, they both don't really different that much in the price area, and yes, usually the cabled ones have better technicalities. And for me, that definitely happened in this area too. The Shanling ME80, even though it is more cheap than the Shanling MTW300, but it has less meaty and less smooth mid-range. It's more punchy, it's more three-dimensional, it is more detailed, of course, and the treble is more, it's more extended. But also the upper mid-range could be a little bit harsh sometimes. The treble could be really harsh too sometimes. So for longer listening session, I definitely prefer this Shanling 300 actually. And I even though compare them with some of the wired IMs like the Moondrop Stardust or the Weezer HE01 at lower price point, I still finding myself getting more detailed and also more separation from the Weezer HE01 or the Moondrop Stardust. Yes, even though they are much cheaper, but for me again, when it comes to true wireless, it's like its own world. I don't want the Stardust in the true wireless version because it is just simply too thin when I'm using it for commute and when I'm jogging like that, but when I want to hear some details, I definitely could hear better. When it comes to true wireless, for me, I want it really quite warm, I want it punchy, and I want a really good fitting, and for me, the Shanling definitely give me all of that. And it has really definitely one of the best look when it comes to build quality alone. And one of the things that I really find myself really fond of from this Shanling MTW300 is actually this IPX7 rating. Because of that, I don't really care if it's raining or if it's getting sweat from my head. I'm just because of this IPX7 rating, but definitely I don't recommend you to take them for swimming. Yeah. So for me, that's all. I really like the Shanling MTW300 for me, this is actually my favorite true wireless right now. I hope you like this review. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below, and see you next time. Bye bye.